Okay, everybody. So the shout out goes to Doomy Grunt Ventures. I'm gonna check his channel out. This literally just came across my video suggestions, and it's gonna be about 13-minute video. So, 12 minutes 41 seconds. But yeah, I want to talk about what he shows in this mall, in response to the video, and then I'm gonna give him the link so he can know what I'm saying as the video plays, because I know this mall. I went there since I was a kid up until 2011, so I know that mall at the back of my hand, pretty much. So what he's showing here is Dairy Queen. Is that the one on Wisconsin Avenue? I think it is. I think this is Wisconsin Avenue right here, going towards Richmond Street, I believe. Okay, right there's a Valley Transit bus station to the left, Appleton Public Library to the right. It actually made national news, but a firefighter was actually killed right there when the Greyhound stopped in, and the guy was on drugs, and they used Narcan to wake him up. Some guy that came from Milwaukee or Chicago. I think heading to Green Bay, actually. But yeah, he ended up in the Appleton jail, which is way back there, like way back there, about eight or 9 blocks away. Oh, I need to give this video to another guy named Chris, because he used to go to Lawrence, so he knows Appleton pretty well too. So that was so this is Oneida Street right here. It's essentially cut off. This grassy area right here used to be a senior citizen complex. I remember going, I forgot why I went to the person's apartment. I think maybe to help them fix a TV or something. I think it was in the early 2000s. Oh my god, I miss those days. Oh, you see this entrance that he's walking into? There was a couple telecom buildings right there. Inside there was a TDS Metrocom, I think it was called, or TDS something. And there was like a bunch of generators back there to the left and all that. You see that? There's a plug right there. I used to plug in my Nokia 5100 phone every time I would, and I stood in this area one time. It was storming like a motherfucker. Holy cow, that storm was so intense. I mean, I literally was like scared I was scared out of my skin. I was so fucking scared. I'm not gonna lie, that fucking lightning was scary. That shit was right above the mall. I wonder how he's doing it. Okay, is he holding the phone in his hand? Hard to tell. Yeah, he's holding the phone. Okay. Yeah, that ATM right there has always been there, but that's a newer ATM. The older one had a telephone line connected to it. I think that one might be Wi-Fi now, or cellular. That Smoothie Cafe's been there since the early 2000s. Since like 2001 or 2. Something like that. The Burger King, okay, so the Burger King entrance was right there. You see where that TV is? Actually, it was further in a little bit. It was right where that black sign is, right about there. The Burger King entrance was right there, and then the upper Burger King entrance was above there. There used to be a Wi-Fi router somewhere right around there, I think, on the wall, and I think TDS operated it, because they started doing free Wi-Fi in the mall around 2002, early 2003.
That has not only a lot of history, but a very interesting story. This is one of those malls. We have a lot to go over, and
the one store they passed, it was a like a photography photo studio kind of place.
Goes back quite a ways, with the building originally belonging to a department store called Pettibone.
That department store, I think it was actually JCPenney for a while. I can't remember, or Sears or something like that. Yeah, with that green lighting, that was a photography studio. Let's see what the name is here. Something photo. I forgot the name of the exact name.
At the corner of College Avenue,
Murray Photo. There we go. Surprised they're still in business too. That was like a water fountain feature right there in the middle of the steps. People would throw pennies in there and dimes and nickels and stuff.
Only conceptually.
They put that glass up there pretty recently, apparently, too, because I wasn't there before. Like when I was there last time in 2011.
Unfortunately, this never came to be as the proposal was rejected. I am low-key disappointed, as pedestrian malls can still be quite interesting if
There was some
done
kind
right.
of room that was to the right of that. It was like a bingo room or a conference room or something. That was some kind of business back in the day, and I guess I forgot what the business was, to be honest.
Never taken up.
There's some things that I forgot about
Until
this
the
mall
80s,
after so
when
many
the threat
years.
of the Fox River Mall scared much of Appleton's downtown retail.
That's the room right there. That's
Plans
what I'm
were then
talking about,
quickly
right,
and hastily
right there with that
drafted up
frosted
for a
glass.
new shopping mall.
They needed to
The
clean that
National
skylight.
Redevelopment Company would
That
prepare
used to
for
be,
construction
you could
and
see right through it
completion.
back in the day. But yeah, where he's going, it was a food court up there. Don't ask me what restaurants were there. I forgot. This was like the late 80s,
This plan was never meant to be, however.
maybe 1988,
Not under the
89.
NRC, whom
I was only 4 or
exposed
5
to
years old. I
financial
don't remember
problems
too
and
much
legal
about it.
issues.
I just know this
In
was a food court right
1980,
here.
They would be dropped, and a new partner
In
was
2001 and
sought
2002, though,
out. However,
they had
another
tables
study
and chairs up
emerged. The
here.
downtown shopping mall
And a lot of us would sit up
oversaturate
here
Appleton's retail
to
environment,
just stay out of the
ultimately
rain
be
or stay out of the
detrimental to
cold or
both
the
malls
heat.
in the long run.
That
And
right
the
there,
Appleton
those steps led into the parking garage.
Or ARA proposed that the downtown
Wow.
mall should be
Yeah, they completely closed that
or at
off.
the very
Holy
least
shit.
scaled back.
Yeah, that led right into a parking
Eventually,
garage.
An architect by the name of Jeremy Mayberg was
That's some kind
called
of
on for the site
property
who
management
drafted
realty
plans for a
company, I think,
three-square concept
or construction,
that would eliminate a portion of Oneida Street
or was the offices
and
for it?
connect
I don't know if it's
Crangies
still
and
there.
Gimbel stores
I can't
with an
tell you.
enclosed mall corridor.
This was never
The three
closed off
squares
right there with
would
that yellow
play
wall. That
as
was
two
actually like
open-air
wide
plazas,
open
while augmenting
a long
the
time
nearby
ago.
Soldiers Square as the third plaza.
See what else they have in here. That skylight is so dingy. Salealytics. Yeah, don't ask me what stores were up there either. I have no idea.
Unfortunately, the three-square plan never came to be, despite praise from the ARA and a unanimous endorsement.
You used to be able to
from the
walk
city
around that
council.
entire thing right here.
The
See how
shopping mall went
it's blocked
ahead
off?
and would be known as the Avenue Mall. The project was announced in February 1984.
Used to be able to walk around
and
that.
17 buildings between Gimbel's and Crangies would be demolished to make way for the mall. Not everything was destroyed, however, as the historic Atkins building was preserved, along with the Conway home for the elderly.
That's the place, the Conway home. The Conway home, yeah. Yeah, they tore it down. That place has been torn down. If you look at Google Street View, it's probably been torn down for 7 or 8 years now. And it actually makes me mad. And then they used to have a walk from behind the Valley Transit and they tore it down too. Big Iron Consulting.
During construction, Gimbel's would close its door for the last time in 1986, and the city of Appleton had to act fast so they didn't open with a vacant anchor. The parent company that owned Gimbel's, BATUS, or BATUS, was planning on converting a number of Gimbel stores into Marshall Fields. Local leaders of Appleton were able to negotiate the conversion of their Gimbel store into a Marshall Fields, just in time for the mall's official opening in March 1987. Now, depending on your disposition, this is where things get either hilarious or tragic, or maybe a little of both.
There's a children's museum right
The
there
Avenue
in that
Mall
city
opened
center
with
there.
only 16 of its
The
65
city hall right there,
inline tenants occupied,
the entrance.
with only 4 following in the months. Crangies and Marshall
That place has always been
Fields
closed
would be
right there with
signed
that
into a
fake brick.
contract that
Always
allowed
been
them to
closed.
leave if the mall dropped below 70%
That place right there too
occupancy,
with the gray wall,
provided they
always
gave
been
6
closed.
months' notice.
Never was open as far as I can
However,
tell.
the mall never made
Could-
it past
could be some kind of business
43%
though.
in its initial years,
Appleton Studio,
and the lenders
yeah.
for the mall, Lions Savings, based out of Illinois, went bankrupt in 1988. As bad as I feel for a failed mall like this would be a slow burn poster child for failed log.
You see,
And considering
see where the
that
elevator is
website
right there?
just political speculation
and I hope he
now,
walks close to
I
it.
guess failed blog
The
failed
Burger King
too.
entrance was right where that plant was. See it? That plant? That's where the Burger King entrance used to be at, right there. they used to have a sign hanging right from there that said Burger King, and the entrance was right down those steps. The second floor seating the Burger King. So I remember that very well because our mom would take us to that Burger King all the time. We would take the Valley Transit over to the Valley Transit station right across the street, and then we would walk it over here, and then have Burger King, and walk up and down College Avenue to do window shopping. And I'm doing the air quotes. So those are the memories that I had. Oh, and by the way, they had a Ron Dini. It wasn't Houdini, it was a Ron Dini. They call it a Ron Dini show. It was in the department store where he was walking towards it on the war level there. It was in that one, and I forgot. It was like a big banquet room or something. It was pretty big, and they did a Ron Dini show. And I remember being picked out of the crowd and going up there and putting on a rabbit hat or whatever. And he did. I forgot what it was. It was some weird magic trick. I was like 4 or 5 years old then. It was really cool.
Frangies gave their notice and would close in November 1989, and Marshall Fields would close in May 1991 after being acquired by yet another company. And by summer 1991, the Avenue Mall was only 18% occupied. The city knew this was a bad look, and they had to do something. And as you can see, they did do something. But it's still a long, complicated story. I'll try to beat it down. As the owner of the Avenue Mall defaulted on their loan in 1991, the mall would be put up for auction. The city dragged their feet on establishing City Hall in the mall, but eventually agreed to set up in the upper floors of the Frangies building, while the Fox Cities Children's Museum set up in the second floor of the building in November 1992.
That's correct.
This would also lead to the Frangies building being renamed into the Appleton City Center.
I thought it was called Priney Way, but that's, I don't know, maybe I was under the impression it's called Priney Way, but they did have another store on College Avenue near the old Kmart called Priney Way.
Out of left field,
in the one shopping center.
Established their department store in the former Marshall Fields in July 1993. This, coupled with City Hall and the Children's Museum, among other offices, ended up temporarily revitalizing the mall. And
I used to sit down in that seating area right there with my laptop in 2002, 2003, trying to use the Wi-Fi.
What a change in events. This was so substantial that the mall hosted a grand reopening ceremony. Even when Herberger's was acquired by Profits in 1996, the store would only be rebranded into a Yonkers.
No, I didn't recognize him.
Until 2002, despite the store already having a presence at Fox River Mall.
Special properties. That barn door's been there forever.
After Yonkers' closure in 2002,
that Squid place, oh my god, that place is still there? What the hell?
Plaza, and the former Yonkers would get converted into office
that
space.
Faces place has been there forever too, holy shit.
City Center East. And that is ultimately where the story ends. The mall still stands today, as you can see, but it serves primarily as a mixed-use business center and an enclosed corridor to get out of the elements. But what a story for a downtown mall, don't you think?
Joseph Shoes is still there. Holy shit. That place been there since I was a little kid.
Retail itself is, for the most part, over at this mall. But you can still see a few small businesses and eateries that call this.
Oh yeah, they've been there forever. Those businesses have been there forever.
There is a redevelopment plan in the works to transition this mall further into offices and alternative businesses. But as far as I can tell, it looks like the interior will remain to some degree. Now, I would love to go into my personal thoughts on this
Tropical Smoothie Cafe. That place has been there since John knows. Since the early 2000s, so that place has been there. And those FedEx and that UPS box has been in the same spot.
What are your thoughts
since
on the
then?
City Center Plaza? Do you remember the Avenue Mall? Do tell
Some kind of
me what it
medical
was like.
place. I keep forgetting what that place is really for. Yep, there's that plug out with ice. They probably covered it up too, bastards. Yep, the Conway building was right there, right where that
Thanks for
grass
having
was.
me, Appleton, Wisconsin. And until next time, this is Doomy Grunt wishing you and the City Center Plaza farewell.
Oh, they took the parking
and good
garage
luck
out
in the
too.
future.
Damn, what the hell?